Good day to all our truth-seeking friends globally. My name is Eltisa Toro Ernst, as most friends know me. Ibulama or Nikita is with me, as most friends know her. Together we represent the Brahma's Tower of Light. Thanks to the highest God, Toratra Yahweh Goria, and his guides, or the guides he appointed over me to guide me in the composition of this and previous series. Nikita, thanks for representing this program with me. I feel awesomely privileged to have you next to me. Thank you so much.
And as always, it's just a big pleasure to be next to you. And
yeah, you know, your radiation vibration gives me energy, and that is what I'm
so glad.
Thanks for that.
Please like and share to as many truth-seeking friends as you can, and remember to subscribe to our programs to be in the loop as we share more of these wisdom-loaded programs. This series differs from the previous series. In this series, we will share information on what Western people believe to be truth, while proven to be untruth or lies. We invite you to visit our website for many more series of programs that you can only benefit from by watching them.
Of course, of course. A lot of people have told me, why wasn't this programs not on internet, let's say a year ago, and I told them it was there a year ago. So, in today's program, we share wisdom and knowledge on why nothing is paranormal, and the proclaiments that God created all humans to be equal.
How does the internet define paranormal activities? Let us look at a few definitions. Paranormal activity is an event or an experience that seems unusual or unnatural and is thought to be caused by unknown forces.
Think of this again, or listen to it again. How does the internet define the word paranormal? They say paranormal denoting events or phenomena such as telekinesis or clairvoyance that are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. Who practices the paranormal is a question. The answer is what the internet says is a mystic who can prove he has paranormal powers.
We are no mystics or mystical people, however. We are trained and empowered with highest to practice cosmic sciences that are far beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. Remember that normal, and remember the word normal. Scientific understanding is limited only to the matter vibrating at 108.108 Hz frequency.
This is what our third dimension vibrates, and this is why they can see it with their human eyes. There's much more to see. Unfortunately for them, their visibility is this 108.108 Hz frequency, which is just one of the endless frequencies housing endless higher or lower vibrating life forms, not visible to their human body's eyes. These scientists should only be permitted by law to opine on what they can see with their human eyes alone, and leave the paranormal to the billions of psychic developed people who can experience it and who do experience it every day. We as psychic and spiritual people will opine on the questions about other vibrating dimensions and their life forms, which these people experiences as paranormal. And you know, all the series on our website under the section YouTube, they contain all this,
Yes.
all the answers
All
is
the
already
answers.
there. They just need to go and watch it.
It is a conceit to give an opinion or negatively remark on subjects you have never heard of or studied more professionally than the speaker. Remember it next time you see a non-psychic comment on subjects belonging to the psychic's world or never-endingness.
And you know, Nikita, it is conceit, because I mean, how can you? It is unlogical to give comments or to opine on a subject you never heard of before. I mean,
But it's
a normal person with a normal education, first world education, it's not supposed to act that way. If you research these commentators' opinions on subjects they know nothing about, they are all part of the New World Order satanic regime, brainwashing the world's population to only believe in what scientists believe in. Were they right or correct ever? No, because they said it is a scientific fact that when you throw something up, it must come down. Rubbish. What is aeroplanes doing up there? What is, it is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in any case, if people cannot even see it, it is their choice.
Yeah.
Do not be fooled by enemies of the highest light side kingdoms. What if I tell you that nothing is paranormal?
There are constantly souls in human bodies experiencing the functioning of their senses, not the human body's senses. These people experience these actions as ghostly or paranormal. To them, seeing an earthbound human soul for the first time could be frightening depending on the soul's appearance. Enlightened souls are not earthbound. Most, but not all, earthbound human souls look like demonic entities themselves. Not to speak about how their palpable radiation vibrations feel. This could be nightmare fuel.
It is nightmare fuel indeed. What was the ugliest or the most unwanted ghost or earthbound human soul that you saw? Or a demonic entity?
There was one time a small child, but it was definitely not a child. It was definitely demonic. And it was actually like also attacking me when I was in bed. He was also playing around with the sound of the TV. TV needed to be on, otherwise he will cause havoc there in the room. So yeah, that was.
But you saw him?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
But it was not a friendly. It was demonic because it was actually attacking me like.
Like what is it? Ratokas, that one. Those that I saw, they look like me and you, but some of them still have the wounds.
Oh yeah.
If he committed suicide, blowing his head off, you will see the first appearance as, the bloody ink. No, it can be nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Now, each dimension vibrates differently, as explained in the previous series of programs. People who believe in heaven and hell as two places must wonder why they cannot see into these places. We as Brahmins, psychic and spiritually trained and developed souls know what hurts other dimensions and planets vibrate. We adjust our vibrations accordingly and can see into other dimensions where we are allowed to see and experience. In some cases, it functions like a consciousness swift, which is awesome to experience.
In this series, See Through Angels' Eyes, under the section YouTube on our website, Paranormal's Tower of Light, you can listen and watch what is possible in this regard. Something else to remember is that what is happening around you with other vibrating life forms is not paranormal. It is normal because it happens constantly. Nothing is abnormal or paranormal. What you see for a split second continues to happen. All dimensions and subdimensions swarm with universes, planets and life forms living permanently like us.
Of course, what they see for a split second, we can compare by looking through a peephole and see something horrible. Now, this is paranormal. It does not exist. Of course it exists. It's there permanently. And if you take into consideration that there are endless dimensions, subdimensions, sub-subdimensions, each housing endless universes, life forms, then it is never ending. The second untruth we want to address in this program is the proclaiments that God created all humans to be equal. The people who proclaim this untruth are Christianity's pastors, dominic's fathers, and others in Satan's service money seekers who choose the church to make money from.
Dominees and pastors in South Africa studied at universities and seminaries, a God far removed from the light side kingdoms. After 3 or 7 years of theology studies, they still cannot correctly define the title God in the first verse of their Christian Bibles. They prefer their beliefs are not the truth.
Yes, I mean, how long is Bible concordances at anybody's disposal?
Yeah.
They can just, but they are not serious about their religion, you know.
Yes.
It's only, oh yes, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Explain to me, what is
I
your
go to church each
goal on
Sunday.
earth? I don't know. Maybe you must tell me. They know not. The oldest Strong's Bible Concordance with the S or ISBN number 0 little dash 917006 little dash 01 little dash 1. That is the correct code. The title God define gods, goddesses, god families, godlikes, demigods, demigoddesses, endless. What these Christian deceivers do well is to teach their flocks to dethrone their Christian God, declare him their slave, and prove their loyalty to Satan by ordering this God's slave on a daily basis to do this or that. God, how would they always say, please go with little Johan or Johnny or whoever and bring him home safely in Jesus' name. What is that otherwise as an order?
Yeah. You tell him what to do.
You know, Miss, if you are in the right deity, how things work. He's not your servant to look after your son. You must teach your son to shield himself and to contact his guides, listen to the guides, then he will not be in unnecessary accidents or whatever.
In the meantime, these Christian pastors and dominees despise the cosmic laws and code of conduct of the light side kingdoms. What they have studied for 3 or 7 years as theology contains maybe 1% of deity information. Further proof is in the next unmasking of who they are.
If these Christian deceivers have studied their Bibles from the oldest translation to the newest, they would have spotted where the gods plural states in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. The oldest human skulls, not Neanderthal skulls, exceed 201 million years.
We know 26 different creator Hefkanams, which are higher in rank and title than gods and Hefkanams, created the first 26 humanities in their image and likeness. Over millions of years, most original human groups survived, namely the red-skinned, yellow-skinned, white-skinned, greyish-skinned and black-skinned nations, which differ from another like the East from the West. Not only is what the utterance looks are concerned, the different skin colors of humanity's intestinal functioning also differ.
Of course, and I mean there's so much proof, you know, many proof. During the middle of the 1900s, ethnologists compiled a first world, a second world, and a third world humanities list. IQs played the main role because without a high average IQ, these races and sub-races could not contribute to the world's development. We had a first, second, and a third world.
The third world average IQ varies from that of the second world and the first world. The third world natives' average IQ stretched between 70 and 90 IQ points, which was described as between morons and idiots. In reality, you can study the Middle African countries' development, where those races and sub-races develop without other skin-colored humans' help. See the truth.
Compare the different white and yellow. Before I continue, most people do not even know how many races, sub-races, nations, whatever is, or the earth house,
Houses, yeah.
at this specific moment. Now, how can they say, without knowing how the different tribes look like, or nations, someone let you declare that God made us all equal? I mean, how can you see? Do you have eyes to see? Because just by looking, you can see the differences. Compare the different white and yellow nations and compare them to the Middle African nations or tribes, as most people refer to them. Those who cannot see the difference can feel the difference when among them. Look at their ways of living. You cannot compare Western and Eastern nations to third world races and sub-races and declare them equal. I mean, who's so stupid to believe rubbish like this?
No. Study the New World Order's politics and you will see their goal is to amalgamate and hybridize all human and human-like people into one common same-colored skin with an average lowest IQ possible. Theologians are part of this mind-controlled project. That is why they preach that God, singular, created all people to be equal and should be treated as such.
Nikita, if a reverend or a dominee or a pastor or whoever studies at an institute or wherever for 3 or 7 or whatever years, how is it possible that he cannot identify the cosmic laws in the Bible or the code of conduct in the Bible? What did they read for 7 years? The Illuminati's comics, if you ask me.
Exactly.
If we move away from the different IQs, we have the skin-colored nations to study. Blacks look by far different from red, yellow, or the white heavenly man descendants. If you haven't experienced them live, do not even comment on them. Go and get experience and knowledge first.
A lot of sub-races were created by other human-like aliens, like the Sumerian gods and the dark side Nephilim.
And the Bible, it is in the Bible,
Yes.
You can actually go read it.
Some of these dark side gods created sub-races that could not develop on their own because these sub-races must not be able to think, plan, organize, finance, coordinate and rule. Over many ages, they proved to be incapable of developing as the white and yellow nations developed.
Yep. If you are mind controlled by your country's politicians and Christian pastors, deans, reverends and fathers, to believe that God created all humans to be equal and that all human-like third world races are included in this satanic allegation, ask him the questions in these programs and convince yourself that his proclaiments is false and from Satan's mouth. I heard Christians proclaim that God created all living beings, which include the satanic kingdoms. That is why they as Christians love all life forms, dark side as well as light side. This is preposterous to say the least.
In program 4, we share the truth on why unqualified are allowed to examine the qualified. The proclaiments that read, "We all know this to be a hoax and that aliens do not exist." Remember to subscribe, like and share these eye-opener programs with as many people as you can. And until then, love and light.
Bye.